Hi. According to westernjournal.com, suicides among 10 to 14-year-old children have tripled between 2007 and 2017. Social media can be a really useful tool, but it can also be really toxic. I have witnessed cyberbullying within my family, and I've researched it. I personally use social media. I use Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, Twitter, and I also use WhatsApp. I'm able to communicate with my son who lives in England. We can talk verbally or text or whatever. So social media has a really good place in society and useful. But it shouldn't take over someone's life. You shouldn't be spending your days on social media. According to Comparatech.com, 47.7% of 6 to 10-year-olds, 56.4% of 11 to 13-year-olds, 59.9% of 14 to 18-year-olds, and 54.3% of 19 years old and older were bullied. So, social media sites and apps were the most common digital forms of bullying. It's an unfortunate byproduct of social media. So here's our typical teenagers these days. From childhood through adulthood, people use social media regularly, spending far too much time of each day on social media. It does have some useful purposes. You can share family milestones on Facebook. You can, show wedding pictures. You can just all kinds of things to keep in touch with people that you might not otherwise be able to be in touch with. I have a lot of family all over the United States, and it's a great way for me to keep in touch with them. So there are, there are some really good useful purposes. Some social media sites are more toxic. I think Twitter is terribly toxic. My sister just took it off of her phone because she said it's so bad. She felt bad every time she got off of Twitter. She said people are just mean. They're just hateful, and they have nothing nice to say, and they're just all about attacking. New York Post on their site nypost.com had an article back in 2017 stating that suicide rates among U.S. teens is directly related to a surge in the use of social media. So it does have a very toxic effect. According to RollyDima.com, the 7 most common risk factors of using social media are, number 1, addiction. Yes, you can get addicted. It's a waste of time and productivity. If you're at work and you're checking social media, you're not working. Identity theft, those cute little polls that they have on Facebook. Hey, what's your favorite color? Oh, what town do you live in? They find out personal information, so they can do phishing attacks through that. Cyberbullying, obviously a horrible byproduct of social media, and threatening associations, like people have cheated on their spouses, and there's all kinds of stuff that happens on social media that's not good. This is a list of the percentage of parents that report that their child has been a victim of cyberbullying. So from 2011 through 2018, the United States in 2011 was at 15% of parents reported that. In 2018, they were up to 26%. I think the trend is going down, but it's still, it's a staggering amount of people that are just dealing with social bullying. Interestingly, there were some other countries that are not, we're the worst country for that. Japan, interestingly, had a very low rate of cyberbullying, and I don't know if that's having to do with the culture. Maybe the parents don't let the kids be on social media. Maybe they don't have cell phones. I don't know. Maybe the children aren't honest with their parents. I don't know what the cause is. I wasn't able to find that. But it was interesting that Japan had a very low rate of cyberbullying. So maybe people could teach each other to be kind on social media, and maybe that kindness would spread. Be sensitive as to how others feel. I mean, do you really want to hurt people? Twitter is a really bad platform for that. I've gotten on there and just seen the mean things that people say. That's not how we should be. Try learning new hobbies instead of spending time on social media. I love to do stained glass, but try gardening or learning to cook. whatever floats your boat, or maybe read some poetry, or read a book. People don't read books anymore. They spend so much time on social media. But engage in positive behaviors. Use your time wisely. Find better ways to communicate with people too. Pick up the phone and call them instead of just texting them or something. I mean, sometimes it's more convenient just to say, hey, just checking with you. Just want to make sure you're okay. So yeah, that's a good thing too. But people use social media every day, and it isn't a good thing. It can be a useful tool, but it also can be harmful and deadly. People get bullied and commit suicide, and Slender Man. I mean, there was that whole thing. It's awful. So try to be kind when you're on social media. Be that person that makes someone feel better for knowing you, that feels better after an interaction with you, than instead of going to the room and crying because they've just been bullied. Don't be that person. Be that one that makes somebody feel better. And after thinking about this and thinking about different ways that you can spend time, challenge yourself to spend one day, 24 hours away from social media, and tag a friend. See if they'll do it with you. Just 24 hours. See how hard that is to do. But you can do it. And you'll be surprised at how much more stuff you can get done. I'm going to leave you with Tiny Glowing Screens. It's a song by George Watsky. If you want to look up on YouTube, it's part 1, Cardboard Castles. There is a language warning, but it talks about our society looking at tiny glowing screens. Anyway, have a great day and stay off of social media.